Tamara here from Posh Cat Crafts, and thank you for joining me today. This is part 6, so this will be our 9th and 10th page in our series of videos on this particular mini book. And in this page, on these pages, right, the first pages, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to bring in this. This is a really tiny mini book that I made a while ago, and I thought we could do something like this in this page. I know I was going to stick to the previous album that I did, but I wanted to just switch it up a little bit because this album's getting quite full, so I wanted to put something in that is a little bit flatter than what I've already got in there. And we all still need to put, which is going to be the next page, we're going to do the wonderful dies, so we're going to have the waterfall effect on the 10th page. So I wanted something that was quite flat and wasn't very bulky, and I thought this would do the trick. The book is held in place by this elasticated cord. You know, it's secured with some eyelets, if you can see there, and then it's obviously hidden. All the workings on the back is hidden by the page. And then this here is just a Tim Holtz, his I don't know, metal puncher, can't think what it's called. I'll get it out when we come to do that. And then I've just hole punched a one of the elements out of the papers and then just stuck it on the back, so then that holds our book in place like so. And all the book is, it's just a concertina book that I've just put together. So that is what we're going to be making today. So what do we need first of all? We need our base page, as we always do, and we need the layer die that goes with that base page. We need to cut this layer die out of black cardstock and also out of your pattern paper, because we need to stick the pattern paper to the layered black cardstock so that when we stick it down, the workings of the eyelets are hidden. Right, so I've got my dies ready. So we wanted the page, the base page die, which is this one here, and then the layering die, which is this one there. And we just need to cut them both out of black card. So I'm just going to put that on top there. I'm not going to bother taking this down because I'm just going to be really careful. So let's get die cutting. So there is our page. So that's our base page, and then we have the layering die on the top, like so. So now we need to pick our pattern paper. So I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to see if I can get, right, I could get the teapot, or sorry, the coffee pot in some of the birds, or we could have the part of the rose and the butterflies there. That's quite good. Okay, so we'll have, I think we'll have that then. So we've got the bird. I'm not sure what sort of bird that is. Would it be a red cardinal, do you think? Not up on my birds. So let's just cut this out. If anybody knows what sort of bird that may be, please leave a comment, and I'd love to know what it might be. I know these ones are hummingbirds on there. I love hummingbirds. I think the people that live in America that have them come into their garden, I just think that would be just so awesome. at the minute we have magpies in our garden, so they especially in the morning, oh, do they create such a ruckus. Right, let's cut out our page. So very careful because I haven't taped it down. Okay, oh, I'm quite pleased with that. That's come out rather nice. Okay. Right, let me just put these away over here with the rest of my junk. I would show you my craft room, but unfortunately it's really messy today, so I'll have to have a tidy up. Anyway, let's get on. Enough of that. So we need to now stick our pattern paper down to our black base, not base page, sorry, the other layer die. So we're going to just stick it on the top like that. What it's going to do, it's just going to help us give a bit more firmness to our paper so that we can cut into it and then eyelet set it. And then also once we've set the eyelet, we can hide all the workings on the back here and then stick it down onto our base page. I still need to cut this excess card off here, so don't forget to trim that down. Remember, about 1/8 of an inch sort of to the left of your stitched embossed line. Right, so let's stick this down. Quite a bit of glue, especially around where you're going to put the eyelets, and then stick down. Try to get it as perfect as possible. There we go. Give it a good old rub. That's it. I think that's stuck down. Excellent. And then so this is going to fit over our base page like so. Right, now we need to do the eyelets. Now we have many ways to do the eyelets. You may have one of these, which is a crocodile. I've had this one for quite a while, and it's still going strong. It's marvellous. I love it. I've also got, when I first started crafting, the crocodile wasn't out, so I had one of these, which is also from the Memory Keepers, and as you can see it's a bit battered and bruised, and this is what we had to then use as our eyelet setter, which was like it's one of the this is the sort of tool, and you put one of these attachments on, and then you would push it down like that. So this is a very good handy tool. So there's that. There's different ways. There's also another one that I have got, which is on a spring, and yeah, it's one of these. You would pull it. Okay, you would pull it up like so. So if I do that so that you can see, and pretend this is the piece of paper on this side, you would pull it and then let it go, and then the force would then set the eyelet. So you would do sort of like that. So that was another gadget that come out. This is from Fiskars, this one, and I think there was about 3 or 4 different sizes on that. So that was another one that I bought, but kept, because you never know with these things, you may use them. Right, so that's a little array of information there out of the way. We're going to do our set our eyelets now. I'm going to go about 3 inches down. I'm going to measure from this corner and this corner here, and then I'm going to measure 3 inches, and that's going to be where I put my, that's just where I'm going to put my first mark. So I'm going to just use a, I might have to pull this out of shot a little bit so that I can see. So there, so I need to go 3 inches, so 3 inches is there, I've just done a mark, and then I'm going to go in about 1/4 of an inch. So from that, the 3 inch that you've marked, just go in a 1/2 inch. Okay, like so, 1/2 inch. No, that's not right. So up a bit, because we need to get this perfect. Right, so 1/2 inch would be just there. Okay. Right, so we do the same on the other side. So 1/2 inch. Sorry, 3 inches. So 3 inches there, and then 1/2 inch in. Okay, so that's there. 1/2 inch there. I'm just going to make sure that they are level. Yes, roughly about the same. So there, and there. Right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to, well, if you have a crocodile, I'm going to use the big eyelet setter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that hole as my guide, and I'm just going, sorry, when I say hole, right, the mark that we've made that you can probably barely see just there, where my hole is that I'm going to punch, I'm going to line this hole up here with the top edge of my hole inside, if that makes any sense. So that's maybe centre if you can. Now again, you can do, you don't have to do this size, you can do something different. You can do, excuse me, a foot smaller size. Okay, and do the next one, and then punch. Right, so now we need to just get our eyelet out to decide what colour you're going to use. I'm going to use these copper ones, I think, copper goldy colour. There, like that, to go with the gold paper that I've used, I think. Now, I have got a variety of elasticated cord. Now, I've got white, I have black, and I also have some elasticated ribbon, which is this here. I love this, and do you know what? I don't know where I got it from. I haven't a clue where it come from. I wouldn't even know what to search. If anybody has any of this in their crafty stash and they can remember where they got it from, leave me a message down below, as I'd love to get some more. It's a cream colour, and it's quite stretchy as well, so it looks amazing when you do these books as like a belly band type thing. Okay, so if you've got some elasticated ribbon, use that. I've also got some cord, which is what I used on the previous book, so you could use cord as well, like so. And I've also got some white, so really it's entirely up to you. And I have just found, I have been looking for this lid for weeks and weeks. It goes on one of my pokey tools, and in the top of the pokey tool I have like one of those knitting sort of type needles, which is really handy if you want to thread ribbon. And I'd lost the top, I couldn't find where the top was, which keeps it all in place. Well, I've just found it, so it was in my box, so that was handy. So I think we're going to go with the ribbon, I think. So what we need to do, the ribbon needs to go into our holes first before our eyelet. Okay, so you might need to just try and push it down a little bit if it's quite thick. So push it in and out the other side. Okay, and then if you can push the end of the ribbon so it folds inwards, not sort of outwards like that. It needs to fold inwards. Okay, so like so. So you've got your ribbon coming the way you want it to go, and the end is going in towards the card. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you have to try and get the eyelet inside where the ribbon is, but me saying that's done it quite quick. So that's not set yet, but it's in. And you see, if I turn it over, you can see the back looks pretty neat. So that eyelet is going to keep that ribbon in place. So we need now to set it. So let's push down like so, and there we have one eyelet set. Okay, and that's the back, and then the back is going to be hidden by our base page, so we're not going to see that workings out. Now you could cut this, which I think I might do. So right, there we go, so that you haven't got a lot of bulk on the wrong side. And then what I would do is I would pull it not too tight, but pull it a little bit so that you've got it's a little bit taut, not loose like that, otherwise it's not going to work. So you need to pull it quite a bit tight, but first of all you get it through into your eyelet hole, and then you can pull, so it's like that, just enough that you can get something behind there, and it's going to keep it in place. Okay, put your other eyelet in like such. Oh. There we are, and then set this one, get it round the right way. No, I did have it round the right way. And clamp down. Okay, and then that's your different belly band that we've now created. What we're going to do now is we're going to stick them on. We're going to cut this bit down first, and we're going to stick it on, then we're going to work out what we're going to do for our booklet inside. Right, so we need my trimmer. Right, just trim off that excess paper that we don't actually need. So trim that off, and then we have our base paper. Now if you want to, you can stick this down. You can do that now. I would suggest using some double-sided tape just across sort of here, just to help that sticking process down. And then also use your wet glue as well. So I'm just going to use a little bit just on the edge. Oh, and I shouldn't have used them scissors. They are my material scissors. And then you just need to glue. Plenty of glue, and then just take off the double-sided. And two more should I say. There we go, excellent. So that's that done. Right, we might need to use our binder clips just to help that adhesion. I think that's the word. So I'm just going to put these metal clips just around the edge where the eyelet is, just so that it gives it some, it helps it stick down. Right, so we can put that to one side. We need to just measure what our opening is. Now I think roughly that's about 4 inches. So we could do a 4 inch by 4 inch album if you wanted it square, or we could go a 4 inch by 6 inch maybe if we wanted it to be a bit bigger. So I think we're going to go with 4 by 6 because that then is a good size for photographs. So if we do a 4 by 6 album, little booklet. So this is how we're going to do it. We will need, you can either use 12 by 12 paper for this if you want to, and then we can make the folds using them, or just with some A4 paper, which is what I've got. So let's use A4. So I think you might need 2. First of all, we are going to cut our card down to 6 inches. So now I have to, don't know if this one is, let me try it. I don't know if this is going to take 2 pieces of card. Let's try, because that's what I like to do. So we're going to cut this down to 6 inches. Now I've got 2 pieces of card stock in here because I really want to bit them to be the same length. So that's 6, about there. So kind of get them level, and then 1, 2. Oh, that did cut it. I'm really quite surprised. There we go. A little bit up there, but that's okay. I can live with that. Okay, so put this part to one side, and then we can get our scoreboard. So now we're going to score at 4 inches, is what we said. So score at 4, and then fold in half. If you've got a bigger scoreboard, you can just then score at 8 again. But if you haven't, I mean, I have got one, so I could show you on that stick as well. You can see it both works. if you've got a bigger scoreboard like this, you can score at 4. As you can see there, it's scored at 4, and then again at 8. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to chop off in a minute this, we're going to chop off this excess, so we're going to just chop off that bit. But this is not going to work because that's going to be too small. Okay, right, so if you've only got a 4 black cardstock, this is how we get away with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to score at 8, at 4, and again at 8. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this bit down, and then we're going to measure this one at 8, so that we then have got 8, and then we're going to chop the rest of it off. So let's see if that works. This is crafting on the hoof. So we're going to go at 4 again, like so, and then at 8, like so, and then we're going to put these two together and make 8. So if I turn that over, that gives me 8 there, and then if I turn that over like so, then right, so this is what we're going to do. So if I there, so if, can you see what I've done on this? If I bring this down, just I'm going to bring this down, then hopefully you can see. Okay, move this out, let it just focus a minute and bring it down, because I'm bringing it down really quite far. Okay, so what I've done, this is one sheet of A4, and then I folded the score line at 4 inches, so that's the fold of the score line there of 4 inches. So I've put that, butted that up against the side, and then I've done exactly the same with the other piece of card. And then what I'm going to do is the score line that I've scored the other piece of card will be sitting at 8 inches. I'm going to line that up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little emboss line at the 4 1/4 mark. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, because then that then should give us another 4-inch width piece of card there. Sorry, so you see what I've done. So I had my, move that over, so I've scored, turned my card over, so the score line here is on 8 there, and then I've come down and I've then measured from the 8 then to the 4 1/4, and I've just marked a little line with my embossing tool. Can you see that little line there? There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut possibly about from this line here. I'm going to cut up to, well, I'm going to put it into my trimmer, and I'm going to cut at 4 3/4. So that then will give me this lip to adhere this piece of card to. Is that as clear as mud? Okay, let's okay, right, so that's this one here. So we're going to put my card in, and we are going to bring it down, bring it up to 4. So this edge here is at 4 3/4. That's what we said. So this edge of this card is at this 4 3/4 is there. Okay, then cut, and then that should give me quite a big nice emboss glue tab line. Okay, so that's what we're left with. So where we've marked here, this is, we know that that's where our paper is going to our other card blank is going to go on to. So we know that we can not put our glue below that line. So glue can go on here, or we're going to use double-sided tape and burnish down and up, and then take off that, and then on goes our so if we just get just on that that mark that we've made, there we are, 1, 2, okay, and then burnish down, and then what will happen, this will be hidden by our paper that we use, and then we've got a booklet, okay, so like so. So then we can fold it, so we can fold one way, the other way, one way, the other way. You make it into a concertina book. Okay, don't have to, you could make it into just like a book like that if you wanted, so it's more of a open out, but I just like the concertina, so that's what I'm going for. I just need a so what we need to do now is we need to decorate. We're going to cut out 5 of pattern paper and then 5 of cream paper. Now the measurement for this is going to be, we're going to cut it at 3 7/8 and at 5 7/8. Now we're going to do the bigger size first, because if it doesn't look right we can always then chop it down, but we can't chop up if we've chopped down, if we've made a mistake, if that makes any sense. So our first of all, let's cut our cream card. So we're just going to trim these up. So if you're using the same collection box papers as me, this is one is called Love Notes. Oh no, it's really nice. Oh, I love little yellow tits. They're one of my favourite birds. Okay, can you cut the bottom bit? There. That's 1. That's 2. Just need to chop off this bottom bit just to get it so that it's at least level. And then find my sheet. Now it might be just a bit big, so we may have to cut down. No, that one's right. So 3 7/8, so that's 4. So we might need to just take this border off. So if we take the the brown border off. That should hopefully then give us our measurement. That's one. Two. Okay, so that is them cut. Right, it's time to now stick our panels onto our concertina book. Again, it doesn't matter how you do it. You could do it where you put all of the cream cards on one side and then all of the panels on another. I'm actually going to alternate it. So I'm going to probably start with the bird because I really like that bird. I've sort of really fallen in love with it. Right, let me just find my glue. And just see if I can unclog it. There we go. Oh, that's not too... Oh. Please excuse that, that's my dog having a little scratch. She's underneath my table. Okay, so there we go. That's our first one on. And then I'm going to put a cream card. And then I'm going to go with, what's on that side? I'm going to go with that one, I think. But although I like that, so maybe that one. Yeah. No, let's do the hummingbirds. And the hummingbirds. So then we want to do that. And then we have a cream. Might do hello friend there. This is, I've got the last two. Like so. And was that all of them? Yeah, I had one extra. So that is then our booklet. Let me just take these metal binder clips off. So I think it's stuck now. Okay, just give it a bit of a... So this then is going to go into our little belly band. And then we've got some lovely paper here that we can write on. We can put our photographs in, maybe a special memory, you know, once, you know, that's happened in the day that you wanted to note down. And obviously just keep it, it's one of those that just keeps turning over and turning over like so, and then we can put it in there. Now I have got on here, this is what I was saying about. I can't remember what it's called, but it depresses these metal rings, like a pack of these, and you die cut your, sorry, not die cut, you can die cut, hole punch your whatever picture that you want to keep, and then you place it in here and then you stick that on. This one is 1 1/4 inch and it's a circle one. So what you do is you just find the image that you want to cut out or to punch. This butterfly is just a touch too big, but that doesn't matter. And then you're going to punch it down, and then you'll get like your little butterfly. It's lovely actually. And then what you need to do is you need to put it so that on these rings they come with a flat side and then a side that is sort of raised up like a hollow tube. You see? Sort of like that. So what we need to do is we need to then put our circle, we need to press it in. Can you hear it just clicked? So you need to press it all the way round so that it goes all the way in. Okay, so it looks a bit like that on the front, and then on the back it's sort of pressed in, so it's like a little bowl. Okay. There. Then you take your thingy-majig and I'm not sure which way you place it in actually. So what you need to do is you need to slide it in so that this is in sort of the middle. Put it up the other way. It might be needs to go the other way, and then push down. Oh yes, I heard that sort of click. And then that's it. So it just kind of does a little click. So you have to put it so that the raised edges are sticking up. Okay, so that now is the back, and that's all nice and flat. And then on the front we've got like our little embellishment now that's got a nice metal edge around. And then that we're going to just place in the middle of our belly band like so. And I'm going to take this out because what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to put my hot glue on, and it only takes a minute or so to heat up. So once that's heated up, we will stick that on, and then we can then go on to page 10. For page 10 we're going to be doing these dies. Now these are the wonderful die set. Tonic have brought out 2 of these waterfall type dies. There is this one, and there is also one with a heart. We're going to be doing this one today, and this one is called the bouquets and banners, and it looks a little bit like this. Okay, it does look a little bit daunting at the beginning, but once you actually get into die cutting and that, it does become a bit self-explanatory. But we can go through it as we do with all of my tutorials. So what we're going to do is we will be die cutting these. We're only going to use the one size. I don't want to do all of the sizes, so we're going to use the one size, and we're going to use the next size down as our layer. Okay, like so. And then on the top, so my top piece of card is going to have the decorative element on. Okay, like that. So let's get started. So we need to cut our pieces out. So we all need, I think there is 4. We will need of the big dies, of the next size down for your pattern paper. So let's get started. We're also going to cut these the banner out, but we're going to do that shortly. Okay, so let's get started. Just to recap, we've cut out our base, which is this here, and then we've also cut out the mechanism that's going to hold it in place. We've then cut out 5 of our black cardstock, so this is the base, and then we've also cut out 5 of our pattern paper. Now this is going to go over our base card like so, and then it's going to fit on. Now I've done excuse me, I've done one extra because I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted them all to be patterned, so I thought so I've cut out some plain as well, like that. I'm also going to cut out some cream cardstock as well. No, I'm not. I'll scrap that. And then that one is going to be the top one, which is going to be our layer die, like so. So we now just need to cut out those, and then I think we can then get to assembling it. We're going to need this, so don't put this die away yet, because we're going to trace around it and then cut out our pattern paper so that we can just adhere it there so that it looks you know, but virtually the same. Right, I've cut all my pieces out. I'm now just going to trace around our holding mechanism here. So what we're going to do is we just need to trace around this. Now this is just going to give us a small layer around, and the same around those sides like that. So we're just going to cut that out. Okay, so then these go on here like so, and then that just gives us a little layer. And so let's stick this down. So push that down like so. And then these ones at the side. Now I'm going to secure mine with some brads and a little bit of foam tape. So I'm going to put the foam tape on first. The foam tape is just to lift it up a little bit. And then the brad, obviously just to, well, I'm hoping that my brads are going to be long enough. Okay, so that goes in there like that. Now this here, we're going to have to do a, obviously another freehand cutting for this bit here in there. So if we cut around, so if we draw around that now, then there we are. So that's that then cut out. And then this then is going to fit on here like so. And then this is going to fit across. Okay, like that. Okay. Right, what we need now is we need our base page. And now I'm actually wondering whether to do what I did with this one and create a and cut a card out. I think that's what I'm going to do, because then it's going to hide the brads, the legs at the back of the brad. So we need a base page, and then the layer that goes on top of that in a card, and then also your pattern paper. Now the pattern paper I've already picked, I'm going to go with that, and we want that, and we want then our dies, which are here. We're going to cut out our layer for our base page, and then we're also going to cut out a layer in black cardstock. Now I'm going to see, I'm going to have a go and see if they'll cut out two at once. Right, but it's definitely cut the first there, so that's good. Oh, look at that. So these dies will cut through two pieces of card. Well, one piece of card and one thick paper, so that's good. Right, just take off that excess edge. Right, so we're going to stick our pattern paper down to our black black layer card. Right, so then we're going to put this on here like so, and so let's stick that down. Quite a bit of glue on this, especially where you're going to put the brads. Okay, so let's just put that into place like so. Get it as straight and as near perfect as you can. Okay, and then this is going to go on the top of there, but in a moment, like so. Right, now on to our card. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. Okay, so we start at the top one and you fold down. Now I just need a bone folder. So fold down like so, and then this one, then the next one gets folded, so I'm going to fold that back over, then fold over, and again, and again, and then one more. Okay. And then this is the start to our mechanism, okay, like that. So then you pull this and then it goes up like that, okay. Okay, I've just now found one that I've already made. So this one is in another album that I've made. The video for this is on my channel, so if you want to go and check this out, you're more than welcome. It's this one here. It's a Crafter's Companion one. But this is, I put the Heart Wonderful die into this one, and so it just pulls up like so. So, I think I've now got it. I just had to have a look. So we're going to put this onto our page that we've already put our pattern paper through, and then we're going to thread this. Now this is going to go through. There's some little slots there, if you can see. So we need to come up through the slot and then through the other side like so. There we go. And then that creates the holding mechanism. No, just there we go. So I just wanted to get it kind of level. So what's going to happen there is, although it's sticking over the edge, what I'm going to have to do, trim a very tiny minute part off. So if I show you exactly how much I'm going to cut off, it's really not even worth mentioning really, because it's so small. So that is how big that we've chopped off. So that's it. So I'm going to just do this other side just so that it's equal, and again I'm just eyeballing it, and again I've just chopped off, it's not even a whisker, as they say. Okay, so, and it won't make any difference really to the overall effect, but what will happen is it'll just sit a bit more flush. Okay, just sits nice. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take that away and get out my mat, because I want to pierce my hole. So try and get it as central as you can. I'm going to have it about there, and then you need to work out where you're going to put your holes. Now I'm going to go about there, so push down, and then about there, and push down. Okay. And then I just need to get my brads, which these are absolutely wonderful. I got these little tin canisters. I got 24 of them, and what I've done is I've got those metal drawers from IKEA, that the ones that have got, I think it's they've got 6 drawers in, and they're about an A4 size, and I've stuck all of my metal embellishments in these. Well, I've still got loads more to get, but with these inside that are just sitting on the door, on the drawers, and it just then frees up more space. So I've got more space to put some more craft stuff. So that's there. So they go in there like that. So my brad's there. I'm going to just turn it so that the legs go up and down, not side to side. So turn that round there like that. Now I'm just going to give them a little tap with the hammer. I have to just put it just to flatten out the back of the legs. So then we can, this can then go on here like this in a minute, and it's perfect. I'm really pleased with that. So that is our mechanism so far. So we just pull it down and pull it up. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to assemble our waterfall, really. So I'm going to start from the bottom and then work up. So the bottom one is going to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick our pattern paper. So because that one's going to be seen, not seen as much, I think I'm going to go, because I've got, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put this one on. Oh, I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on right today. So can I just, so note to self, you need to remember to put this in first. You need to, no, let me get that one. There we are. So remember, I will put a note in before I put that on. So this here needs to go on before you put your holding mechanism on. Now I'm hoping I can just get some glue just to hold it in place, like so. Oops. There we go. No harm done. Okay, so there we go. There. So remember to put that back piece on before your holding mechanism. And then we can then start to put our lovely panels on. So that's one. And two. And three. think this was 3. Whoops. Yes. Three and 4. I think we'll put that one on last because that's going to go there, and then that's going to go on the top there like so, and so we'll put that on last. So let's put one of those. Now I'm going to just use some double-sided tape again, and it's just going along the top of our little waterfall tag, we'll call it that. So it's just along the top there. Okay, so that will then fit on there. And again, like so. Make sure I get it the right way. Like so, and like so, and then one more. I think that is the right way. I think, well, that's the way I'm going to put it, like that, and just burnish them down. And right, now we can take them off. And so I'm going to start with a stripe, and then that's going to go sort of in the middle as much as you can. Then we're going to go with the butterflies, and then that one's going to go exactly the same, so that it is level like that. Then the next one is going to be a stripy one again, and that is going to go, oh, that's the wrong one. Stripy one is here. That's going to be on there, and I think I've done one too many. Oh, no worries, because that can be used somewhere else. And so we can either put that one on. No, we can put that one. That looks a lot better. So this one then needs to go on there like so, and hopefully it's going to work. There we go. Let me see. Now we could put, let's have a look, one there maybe. No, we won't put that one on. We'll put this one here though. So this can go here like that, and so that's me. That can go on there like that. So we didn't really need to to do that, but never mind. You've got the option then, so if you didn't want to, if you didn't like that, then you could have just left this off. You didn't need to put this on. So that goes on there like so. That then is near enough our waterfall. I'm going to find a little tassel. So we could have, let's have some gold, that'd be quite nice. So let's cut a big piece of that off. And I was going to do those, but I think we'll have a tassel, because I think the tassel goes, it's a bit more in keeping with our book. So that is going to be like that. And I'm going to have to pull this through, and let's cut that off. If it doesn't work, we can always use something else. I just thought this might look quite nice, but maybe I was wrong. I could just tie it. Yeah, let's just tie it. That doesn't look too bad. So tie it as tight as we can. Give it a knot. And let's just take these off. Oops. And then we can pull our little tassel that we can pull down and push up, pull down and push up. Okay, then we can just stick it. Now we need to just glue it onto our base page. Take the glue, the sticky back off, and there, and then we can glue. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else draw like patterns in their glue when they put their glue on? Oh, it's going that way. Nearly stuck it on the wrong way. Okay, so stick that down. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to stick them two together like we normally do, and then our books, our pages 9 and 10 are finished, and then we're on our final 2 pages. Right, now we need to stick them together. So we need our book, and we are on, I can't believe we're on these last 2 pages. So what we need now then is our double-sided tape. Remember we put that on the bottom, so make sure your pages are the right way up, so when you open your book they are the right way, you don't put them upside down. And then you need some double-sided tape. So double-sided tape again along the bottom. This is just to help you get a bit more of that stick, because your book is going to get a lot of wear and tear. So let's put this next one on, and remember to stick one page, then do your glue, and then stick the other page to it. I need my pokey tool. Right, wrong side, we do this one first. Okay, take that off. Take the one off from here. Now I've bent these backwards and forwards, just so that they've got a bit more give in them. Because this is quite thick cardstock, it Okay, remember you need to line up the corners of your paper with the edge here of your spine and then stick down. Okay, like so. Next page, oh, and I can get that off. Okay, and off here. Okay, now your glue. Now glue needs to go up the bottom, up the side, round the curve, up the side, and then stop. Do not go beyond this curve, because that is, we need that extra width to get a tag in. Okay, so let's just put quite a bit of glue on here, like such. Make sure this is the right way up, which I didn't. But no matter, I just put another one on there, like that. Now it's going to be extra stuck. Okay, so again, line them up and then push together and then stick. Now you will get a bit of glue that seeps out. Don't worry about that, because we will take that off sort of like now. There we are. There we go. That is stuck perfectly. Well, I suppose after doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of pages, we've probably got this now down perfect. So I'm just going to put our clips on and just take off some of this excess glue that I've got with my manky glue rubber. Okay, that's one side and the other. There we go. It's such a good tool, it just comes off, it's brilliant. If you catch it in time, it comes off there. Right, just put our clips on, especially at the bottom here. One and so then that is our 9th, page 9 and page 10 with our waterfall. So that's the waterfall one, and then this is our concertina book that we can pull out, and we have got just some lovely extra space in that. And so that is all I've got time for today. If you've liked what you've seen, then please give me a thumbs up. I will be really, really pleased if you did. Subscribe. I'd love it if you could subscribe. You can then keep up to date with all my crafty videos that are coming out. I've also got part 7 will be coming up shortly after this one, which is with our last 2 pages, which is page 11 and 12, and then we have got the front and back covers to decorate, and also our book closure, which we're going to do. So they will be in forthcoming videos. If you'd like to follow me, I am on Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, Instagram, and I also have a blog. All I've got to say now is goodbye and see you on the next one. Bye.